everyone, today we're going to do a birdhouse card, and I didn't actually have a birdhouse card on my Gypsy, so instead I found a birdhouse, and I used just the outline, and I put it on the mat, and then I doubled it, so we'll just do this. We'll double it by going to advance and hitting duplicate, which is the two squares, and then we reversed it so that it would match up, which is the arrow pointing to the vertical line and another arrow. So we reversed it, and then I lined it up with the birdhouse exactly, and then I used my arrows keys to scoot it over so that I knew I wouldn't, my unsteady hand would not unline it up or make it not lined up. Once I got it to the spot where I wanted it to be, then I clicked the star, circle, square so that I could connect them or weld them, and I clicked that. I made sure that the birdhouse was blue first of all. I highlighted it, then I highlighted the star, circle, square, and then I clicked on the other birdhouse and I made sure the star, circle, square was lit up again, the weld button. I knew they were welded together when they were both red. I could also hit the eye and look at it, and they would turn gray where they were connected, which is in the middle. For the center of the birdhouse, I picked out a circle, and I picked out the word high, so that this would stay in the middle. But I think cut out, and we weld that. We weld the high inside the circle by using the star, circle, square button again, and make sure the top of the H and the bottom of the H is touching your circle, and then weld it. I don't know if this will stay in or not, so let's just reverse the words just in case it does stay in, so it's on the front of the card. You can reverse the words by simply using that arrow, vertical line arrow again, and then it's a backwards high. Okay. Once that's welded, then I chose a bird. Let's look. And the bird is right here. Let's see if you can see that. Yep. And then I just made sure he was the right size to put on the side of the birdhouse. So I'll put him down here because he's going to be a different color. And then the accent of the roof and the bottom of the birdhouse is also going to be a different color, so it's going to go on its own square. Okay, now, the way you can find out what cartridges you're using in this, so that you guys can see what cartridges I chose all of these little designs from, is you go back to your cartridge, and then you click on the cartridge name here at the bottom, and you click on cartridges in use. You'll have all cartridges, linked cartridges, and cartridges in use. And I have home decor, lyrical letters, and sentimentals. So those are the ones that I'm using. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and cut that out. Okay, now that all my pieces are cut out, the word high did not stay in here because I had a double circle, which I didn't realize, so it popped out, but that's okay because we have this nice rigid look for the bird hole, and what I did is I just punched out an orange circle to match the bird, and that'll go on the inside, so it'll be a different color on the inside, and then we'll just put the word high inside of it, I think. Or maybe we'll put it somewhere else. Okay, I haven't decided. Okay, so let's do the rest of it. Here's the roof. So we'll glue on the bottom of the birdhouse too. Sorry, I was kind of nervous. I thought I lost my floor or the bottom of the birdhouse. So I'm just going to use the tape runner, although you could use your glue pen for this. Whoops, and we're out of tape runner. Okay. We'll use the AdTech one. And then we'll glue this on here. Just to give it a nice pop of color since we used brown cardstock for the birdhouse. And then we'll glue the bottom on. And we'll use the glue pen to glue on the floor since my tape runner ran out. I'll have to fill that today. And then we'll glue on our little bottom of our birdhouse. Okay. Then we have the bird, which is actually self-sticking, so we're just going to stick him on the birdhouse wherever we think he might want to be. Actually, you know what, even though he's self-sticking, I think I'm going to pop dot him anyway so he has some dimension. I know. Some of us are pop dot crazy. Okay. So we'll put him right there, and I think he's going to need a rhinestone eye. So we'll do that here in just a second. Now we're going to glue the circle inside the birdhouse for that pop of color. So again, I'm going to use my glue pen. I'm going to center it so I make sure that it's right underneath that circle for when it closes. And the other thing that printed or cut out of the Cricut is a little stand for the bird. You can put that on there or not. I didn't really like it there, so I'm going to leave it out. And then let's put some more glue in here since this is where it ran out. Okay, and then we still have the word hi, which I thought was cleverly going to go in here, but didn't. So let's figure out where we're going to put that. We could put it inside here still, which I kind of like, or you don't have to put it in there at all, or you could put it with another piece of green paper or another piece of orange paper at the bottom. So it's up to you. Or you could try to actually weld it inside the circle and have it stay there. So let's get a rhinestone eye for our little bird. Okay, since his wing doesn't show up too well, I'm going to take an orange marker and I'm just going to trace the lines that the Cricuts put on here so that they get a little more attention. And I'm going to trace this part too. The marker I'm using is just by Marby. It's a La Plume. Okay. And I don't know if I'm going to put this here or not. So I could actually just cut the hi out of this circle, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to put the word hi inside of it. So I'll just cut the word hi out from my circle. You know, kind of a waste, but... And then I'll just put the word hi inside here, just like that. I think I like that the best. Okay, so I'll glue it with the glue pen, and then I'll lay it from the top of the card on the inside so that I know it's going to be centered correctly. And then, but it is going on the inside of the card. So, once I have that down, it'll actually be on the inside. But it'll be in the circle. Okay, so there's my birdhouse card. Thanks for watching.